Hello, people. I'll just have a reading there. Well, it's been a month. And if you listen to some people on TikTok, we're all doomed. Some people in the media, we're all doomed. If you listen to anybody other than your own common sense, we're all doomed. Um, I really do try to look at this logically, rationally, and I kind of get why a lot of people feel the way they do. I get it. Believe me, if you listen to the media long enough, and if you listen to the race hustlers out there long enough, and if you listen to all the other people out there who are literally driving people crazy and making money off them, I get it. I know why people are acting the way they do. Because they've been convinced of a narrative that may not be true. But, unfortunately, we live in the age of let's not think for ourselves. Well, Trump is president. Well, you know what I mean. But, I'm listening to the media, and it's like they're. This is my frustration. He's not president yet. Biden is still president, and Kamala Harris is still vice president. Okay, Biden's not gone quite yet, physically. No, I really do think there is something medically wrong with him. By the way, I really do. I think it's not so much him as president as the problem. I really do believe that Biden is not mentally prepared as president. There is something wrong with him. It is a medical problem. I think he was used. I've always maintained that. I think he was used. I think he's still being used. He's still a terrible president. Some people are not meant to be president. But anyway, I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand why a lot of these people on TikTok and all the other social medias I can think of, and I'm on also. I get it. I know why they act the way they do. I'm on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. I get what the problem is. And it's called listening to the media. The media may be the biggest problem in this country because it's not reporting news; it's creating news. It's fabricating news. It is making news out of nothing when nothing is happening. Um, yeah, Trump. Right now, Trump is. I think the biggest thing, though, I've come to the conclusion of, and yes, this is going to be all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm making a video because I'm not going to do any writing today, so I'm going to make some videos. I think the problem with a lot of these people in politics, in government, is that they don't seem to understand that Trump doesn't allow himself to be attacked without repercussions. Okay? They attacked him. They did this, that, and the other. And Trump is not one of those people who is just going to sit there and take it. And all these people scurrying around trying to get immunity and this, that, and the other are only proving to Trump anyway that he was correct. He probably is correct, but then again, I'm just a peon out here in the Midwest. But so far, month after the election, the usual things are happening. Doom and gloom. Oh, it's over. Oh, I'm sorry. I try to be understanding, and a part of me is understanding. But at the same time, listen to some of the way some of these people are acting. It's like, I'm sorry, it's time for the grown-ups to take over. It's time to be an adult. The problem, as I see it, this is when I watch TikTok videos of other YouTube channels I like, and when I look on Twitter or X when I'm there, or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. Most of these people are emotionally driven. If you are emotionally constantly driven, this is what happens to you. TikTok is a great place to see what happens to people when they let their emotions run everything. And I mean everything. Thinking is not allowed. Which is sad because I think a lot of people in politics, basically really rev up people's emotions and don't give them the time to think about what they're being told. They cannot, these people cannot allow these other people to think about what's happening. It's one emotional trauma after another, one emotional thing after another. I mean, it doesn't end. I don't know how these people function on a daily basis, being revved up constantly by their emotions over this. Trump was president for 4 years already, and none of the things that these people are so terrified of happened. None of it. It didn't happen. He was president already for 4 years, and none of these things happened. Mainly because Republicans were spineless individuals and wouldn't stand up for anything. Oh no, I still blame the Republicans. Part of the reason Trump failed, and he didn't fail, the Republican Party failed. Let's be honest, people. The Republicans are a bunch of spineless, wet noodle worms who, if they would actually stand up for something, I think it would scare them. I'm not saying I'm standing up for anything. I don't. I don't see them standing up to all this nonsense. Look, I'm not into woke. Sorry, woke is nonsense. I'm not into pronouns. That's nonsense. I'm not into all these trans things that really come across to me as money making opportunities, or people just wanting to look at me, I'm standing up for them. I mean, I know I'm in the minority. I will be labeled all sorts of things. Thing is, I care about these people. I also think they're being used. I think most trans people, or whatever you want to call them, want to just go about their business. They just want to go about their business, live their lives, and just be left alone for the most part. It's the activists that are the problem. It's the activists are the problem. Some of these people on TikTok and other places, I'm sorry, you're not. These people are not helping your cause. I don't agree with your cause, but they are definitely not helping it. In fact, they're making you look terrible. The things they want to do, the things they're promoting, and everything else. And sadly, the activists are the biggest problem. Because being an activist now, that's virtuous. Well, it's not virtuous. You're trying to force people to do something that they don't want to do, and you're calling them all sorts of names, blah blah blah, only proving that you're the problem, not the people you're attacking. And this is why I don't like politics. This is why I don't like politics. This is why I don't. I don't. I get very frustrated because I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be honest. And I'm trying to be open minded. And I'm trying to be straightforward. I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to tell them something I know isn't true or is detrimental to their health. Just to achieve some brownie points. To acquire some DEI brownie points. Or anything else. This country has an immigration problem. This country has a lot of problems. And most of these people are more concerned that you use pronouns. Well, that's fine. You want to use a pronoun, that's your choice. I'm not going to. I don't want to. You have a name. I've never understood this thing, and I never will. I think it's just look. I've always said this, and I will continue saying it. It's all about look at me, look at me. It's attention. It's my observation when I watch a lot of these people talk about wokeism and pronouns and this, that, and the other. It's all about them. It's not about the actual subject. It's not about the actual thing that they're talking about. It's about them. And there literally is a first character syndrome. They are the first characters. They are the first characters in the movie of their own lives, and their lives are the only important ones. Everybody else better agree. Well, that's not the real world. No, I don't agree with a lot of things. And I try to get along with people because I don't see a reason not to get along with them. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. That's because I'm a reasonable, rational human being, and I know that not everybody is supposed to agree with everything I say or believe or this, that, or the other. But once you start literally forcing people and throwing hissy fits and throwing temper tantrums and start just, I don't know, cutting your hair off and wearing blue bracelets and this, that, and the other, and acting as if you're in The Handmaid's Tale, I'm sorry, you become unhinged, not me. I mean, I've read The Handmaid's Tale. I've read it. It's boring. It's a boring book. Sorry, it's boring. A friend of mine, Becky, wanted me to read it. This was 20 odd years ago. This book was wonderful. She thought it was the most wonderful book she ever read. I read it, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to be mean to her and tell her this book is shit. It's boring. You're not living in The Handmaid's Tale. None of this is The Handmaid's Tale. You haven't lost anything. The people who believe that they've lost something, the people you want to blame is the media. The people you want to blame is the race hustlers. The people you should be blaming are those people who literally play on people's emotions and drive them to this. They look unhinged. They look like they're about to have an emotional collapse. They're going to have a mental breakdown. It's sad. It's not pleasant to watch these TikTok videos and watch these once rational, sane human beings become these emotional wrecks at something that doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Not even on the scale that they think it's happening. No rights have been taken. Not going to lose anything. You know what? After the election, I went to work. And you know what I saw? The exact same people I always see going to work. Nobody was stopped from going to work. Nobody was stopped from clocking in. Nobody was told you don't have a job anymore or any rights anymore. Everybody just went to work as if there had been no election whatsoever. In fact, up to this point, within the month since the election, I haven't seen one single news story about anybody not having any rights or being told they don't work here anymore or anything else remotely close to what TikTok and a whole bunch of other social media people are crying about and screaming about and this, that, and the other. And what I've noticed about a lot of them, it really does come to abortion. I'm sorry. But you can still have one. You can still have one. See, I've never understood why the overturning of Roe v. Wade affected abortion. It didn't affect abortion. What it did was said, okay, we're sending it back to the states. That's the only thing that did. I knew when it happened, said, okay, this is a nice symbolic thing, but it's not going to change anything. We still have abortions. They still exist. So overturning Roe v. Wade solved nothing. And I've not understood why people seem to think that that was a victory of some kind. Maybe a symbolic victory of sorts, maybe, but it wasn't a victory of any monumental level. You could still have an abortion. So getting rid of Roe versus Wade solved nothing. And I knew it would solve nothing because nothing's changed. I told you, thumbnail. This is about other thoughts as well as the election. I mean, I watch a lot of these people, and I'm trying to be sympathetic, and I am sympathetic because I really do think they've been driven crazy by other people's political obsessions. A lot of these people who are cutting their hair or whatever else somehow they're doing to associate themselves somehow with The Handmaid's Tale or something related to it, they're miserable, they're unhappy. You listen to them rant and rave, and you would think, okay, once this was a kid, this was once a normal child at one point, who probably went to college, and that was the end of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do sympathize with them. I don't agree with every single thing that they all agree with or want to do because I don't agree with it. Sorry, I don't agree with it. It's my personal right to not agree with every single thing that these people want. I sympathize. That I can do. I can sympathize with why they are the way they are. Because the tragedy is that if you are a biblical type like myself, it's only going to get worse. Trump presidency may delay it, but I hate telling you this, my fellow people who voted for Trump. He ain't gonna stop what's coming. Sorry, but what's coming is coming. It ain't gonna be stopped just because Trump is president and he tries to solve all the immigration problems and the other problems that this country has. And by the way, I don't think Trump can annex Canada. Last time I checked, I could be wrong. My fellow Englishmen can tell me I am half English after all. Last time I checked, Canada was part of the Commonwealth of the UK. So how is Trump going to annex Canada? But Canada is still part of the United Kingdom, Commonwealth, I should say. If I remember correctly, they are members of the Commonwealth. Now, I could be wrong, but somebody tell me, I'm pretty sure they are. So, we'll see. We tried to take Canada during the American Revolution, failed. That was Benedict Arnold. We tried. We tried to take Canada in the War of 1812, and we failed. Okay. Now, one, it can't be the 51st state because there are several parts of Canada, so it would be several states. But we can't do it. I mean, I think it would be funny if we tried. I mean, I think some say, but I think England would say, wait a minute, that's still part of our Commonwealth. You can't have that, Trump. It's one thing you can't have. You can't have Canada. But anyway, I just think it's funnier now lately to see Trump was, might annex Canada. It's like, how? Canada is a sovereign country, part of the Commonwealth of England. If I remember correctly, I'm wrong. But anyway, as I've said, I mean, I've watched the TikTok videos, and I do feel sorry for a lot of them because they really have been brainwashed into thinking that the Handmaid's Tale or some aspect of it is about to happen to them. Okay, it's not. It's not going to happen. Though I must tell you though, I did have a dream, an odd dream a few nights ago, where I literally saw several people dressed as if they were the Handmaid's Tale. The red color, white hat thing. I could not think of it. And I remember saying to in the dream, oh, what's the Handmaid's Tale doing here? That was weird. I have weird dreams, people. I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant. But no one's going to lose any rights. No one's going to lose anything, except maybe not being coddled by government. I do like the fact that Trump is going to tell the government workers, you have to come to work now. You can't stay home, you have to come to work. I mean, the problem is, I liked that Elon Musk is part of it. I do like that. I like Elon Musk. I think he's an interesting guy. Now, whether he succeeds is questionable. I mean, I do find it interesting listening to the media. I listen to the media very briefly. I cannot watch a newscast. I haven't watched a newscast, I think, maybe since Dan Rather. That's a long time ago. For you. I mean, as I said, this is, um, I do sympathize. I do sympathize with the pathological unhappiness that has been created by the media, by activists, by just the college system, the university system. Most of these kids were kids once, and a lot of these adults were kids once. This is not how their lives started out. They literally do look like they're having nervous breakdowns created by other people who don't care about them as people, but as useful tools. That's what politics is. And more so on one side than the other. And if you're honest with yourself, you know that. I uh, I don't have as much faith in Trump as a lot of my fellow YouTubers who have a lot of faith in Trump. I have some faith in him. I I'm reserving my good job, Trump. until after the 4 years are over. Okay? When the 4 years are over, I will tell you whether you did a good job or not before. I mean, as I keep saying, I'm trying to make my point is I do sympathize with those who believe that Kamala Harris was the next president and oh, the Handmaid's Tale is one step away and blah 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 because they've been told this. To the point of they are neurotic. They're unhappy. I mean, I don't know how you survive this. I don't know how you get up every day and function when your entire thought process is that and psychologically damaging by people who don't care about you or don't care about them at all. That's one reason why I don't like politics. Politics is corrupt and corrosive. It destroys people. It takes people's dignity away. I'm not big on politics. I'm not very big on it. I don't know. I'm just hoping that Trump does a good job. I know it's going to be 4 years of the same nonsense as last time. I mean, I'm sorry. It's going to be the 4 years. And the only way it can actually be counterproductive, actually counter that, is if the Republicans get off their freaking asses and do their jobs and stop playing politics. Stop being afraid and do something. My biggest problem, actually, if you listen to my videos long enough, I do editorials. My biggest problem is not with the Democrats. My biggest problem is with Republicans. My biggest issues, my biggest problems, my biggest complaints, my biggest gripes are with a party that doesn't know what to do with itself when it's in control. It's almost like it likes to be not in control or in power. It's like they're terrified of actually having to do anything. Democrats, I understand. I do. I understand them just fine. They see power, they take power, they use it. Republicans, oh no, it's power. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, you could, I don't know, govern? No, that sounds like doing something. We're Republicans. We don't want to do anything. We just want to pretend that we're doing something. I have less faith in the Republicans than I do in Democrats. I would like Republicans to grow a backbone, a spine of some kind, become a vertebrate, not a spineless jellyfish, and act like you actually know what to do and then do it. It's not complicated. But I have a feeling I know exactly what's going to happen. It happened last time. But Biden, I don't blame Biden in a lot of ways. I don't blame him because I think, one, I think he was manipulated into doing this. I think that he is way over his head. I think he was used. I think there is a medical problem. I really believe that. I really do believe that his biggest problem isn't governing. It's mental health. He does act like he's mentally having a problem, and that's sad. And no, I'm not surprised that he pardoned Hunter. Anybody who is surprised by this is fooling themselves. Okay, I'm done talking. Oh, we got this 25 minutes in. I try to do these for at least 25 minutes, but the election was a month ago. America's still here. Society hasn't collapsed. Democracy hasn't collapsed. Even though you listen to some people on TV or the YouTube channels, democracy's in trouble and we're all going to die. We're all going to die anyway. And at some point, even if Trump does succeed in what he wants to do, don't get things biblically, and I some of you out there do, you know it ain't going to last long. That's not what the Bible says. Okay? I know you all want this make America great again, and maybe he'll do it up to a point, but it's going to collapse. Simply speaking. If you really believe in the Bible, and you believe in prophecy and this, that, and the other, you know what's coming. This is just a reprieve. We'll call it something. Call it a reprieve for 4 years. I'm just saying. But anyway, now I'm going to go watch a Metatron video, Roman Empire. Go check out his channel. Excellent stuff. Okay, I'm done rambling about politics, my least favorite subject. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Behave yourselves, people. You know I'm not going to. Thank you for watching, and later. Later.